And I'm Maggie Call, and I'm reporting here from BC News Today.
And here's what's making news. The Earth's atmosphere is already warmed by 0.8 degrees Celsius compared to pre-industrial times due to heat-trapping carbon pollution called greenhouse gases, which are produced by the burning fossil fuels like oil, coal and natural gases. A rise in 0.8 Celsius may seem insignificant, but already the consequences are grave. If the stats keep rising, it could undermine forest ecosystems, threaten commercially valuable tree species, along with other devastating outcomes.
Well, it's not looking good, is it, Peggy? And we're going to be looking further into that today. Other headlines include sales averages for the new Volkswagen electric car, and we're also going to be speaking to some of the survivors of the New York storm Juno. But first, let's take a look at the weather.
Hi there, I'm reporting the weather from inside Vancouver today. We are in the middle of winter, however it's definitely sunglasses and mojito weather right now. All this climate change is making it hot, hot, hot. Back to you.
And that was your weather. So for the first part of today's programme, we're going to be looking at climate change here in Vancouver and some of the main causes and effect it has on wildlife here and BC big game hunting. We've got Sue Green reporting from the root of the problem. Over to you, Sue.
Good afternoon, my name is Sue Green and we're reporting here from downtown Vancouver to look at some of the causes of climate change. This used to be a natural landscape full of wildlife, but now it's actually full of human activity and no longer wild animals live here. We are going to be looking at some of the causes of climate change. Human activity is seen to be one of the main causes of climate change. The main things are carbon dioxide and other heat-trapping gases in the atmosphere, causing the temperature to rise. Now we're going to look at some of the members of the public and see how their day-to-day lives are affected by climate change. I'll just grab someone. Excuse me? Hi, I'm Sue Green reporting from BC News. Do you mind if I stop and ask for a few questions today?
No, that's fine, yeah, I've got some time.
Okay, what's your name?
My name's Riley Brooke.
So this is Riley Brooke and we're reporting from downtown Vancouver. Now Riley, can you tell me, how did you get here today and what are you doing?
I just jumped in my car, it's just around there. I live quite nearby, but why walk when you've got a nice car, It rains quite a lot here in Vancouver, so I don't really want to risk it. Just got back from the shops.
So do you take public transport ever, or is it mainly their car that you use?
Nah, I've got quite a rich husband, so free car, just drive around, It's a really nice vehicle.
Okay, and can you tell me, do you know anything about climate change and how it's affected by your day-to-day activities?
I've heard a few things about it, but nobody's really showed me what to do. I don't really know what's going on. I know that it's melting some icebergs somewhere, but I've never seen polar bears anyway, so I don't think it really affects me, to be honest. It's all fine.
Wow, okay Riley, that's an interesting take on climate change here today. So finally, is there anywhere you're off to now? Where are you off to?
Well, I'm meeting some friends in a few hours, so I might just drive about, look around, see what's what.
Okay, well you enjoy your drive, Riley. Thank you for talking to you today.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks guys, back to you in the studio.
Wow, thanks for that, Sue. Riley is a classic example of a self-absorbed person that really can't see the damaging effects her flamboyant life is having on the planet and the ecosystem.
I agree, Peggy. She really needs to put some more thought into her actions. Now we're going to be looking at the devastating effects that human activity can have on the ecosystem. One study looked at whether species can migrate quickly enough to survive the rapidly changing climate. It's found that Canada is more likely to be one of the hardest hit parts, and that 45% of Canada's habitats could be lost by the end of the century, resulting in a 20% loss of species in vulnerable ecosystems, such as the Arctic and boreal forests.
Those are some devastating stats right there, Maggie. Let's see what Brown has to say about all this. We have Leslie Brown reporting from the wilderness in BC. Over to you, Leslie. Hi there, I'm Shelley Brown, reporting from the wilderness here in BC. This is a famous part for hunters to catch their big game, which is a good lifestyle or hobby for many locals and people here. Some believe big game hunting to be cruel. However, if these hunters were to get one deer, this would feed their family for months. This is a much better method of doing it rather than buying mass supermarket meat. Hunting and eating one's own meat is a much more sustainable and environmentally friendly way of getting it. Meat has been hard to find though in these trying times due to the rising temperatures. that has been caused due to climate change. Migration patterns are changing and numbers are dying out due to the whole change in the ecosystem. Plants and animals are struggling to adapt to the temperature rises. Another problem here in Vancouver is the increase in wildfires. Due to the drier season and climate, this is killing habitats and animals. Here we have a local hunter, Leslie Blue, to tell us of her opinions on the matter. So Leslie, have you noticed a change in the amount of animals you're able to hunt over the years?
Hi Sally. Yeah, I definitely think there's been a decline in wild game hunting in the last few years. I've been hunting around these forests for years and years with my family, my grandpa, my father, and we used to get maybe a bear once a week, but now I'm lucky if I see a few every season.
Yes. And are you aware of the causes of climate change and the effects it has on game hunting?
Yeah, I've definitely heard a lot about the rising temperatures and how this can affect animals who just can't adapt to the new temperatures, and also with people animals needing to move around to get new food who just aren't able to cope.
Yeah. So are you environmentally aware and try to live in a sustainable manner?
Yeah, I think I do. I'm quite energy conscious. Obviously I love being outside in the great outdoors, so I tend to do a lot of walking, a lot of biking, and I try to keep my energy consumption down to the lowest possible that I can. I've got solar panels on my roof. So yeah, I could probably do more, but at the moment I think I definitely am doing my bit for climate change.
So I think it's obvious here that a lot of the blame can go to the climate change, that game hunting is becoming more difficult these days. Well, thank you so much for speaking to us today. It seems that climate change truly is having some devastating effects here on the wildlife in BC. I think it's safe to assume some big steps need to be taken in order to mitigate the situation. Thank you. I'm Shelley Brown. Back to the studio. Wow. It really does make you think about everyone's life that climate change is affecting and how much the hunters are suffering without their big game.
Well, that just about concludes the first part of tonight's programme on the effect of climate change on big game hunting. We'll be back after the break discussing newer, greener way of transports and how well do you really know your neighbour's cat. Stay tuned.